Hi, hello, how are you? Amanda, Seint artist. We're gonna talk about one brush and the basics. This is what I consider the basic setup. When people ask me, hey, what do you recommend? I wanna try this out. This is the setup I recommend to everyone. So it's gonna be the blush and bronzer brush. And the reason I like this brush is because it comes in a collection with a bronzer of your choice. There are 4 bronzers. There's Bella Bronzer, My Ride or Die, there's Palm, there's Tan Lines, and there's Heat Waves. They're all really great options. Bella's my favorite, and you get it in a collection with this brush. And the reason I suggest this collection is because eventually you're gonna want the bronzer. So just get it for a couple dollars more because it comes in a collection. If you were to buy them separately, bronzer and this brush, it's $10 more. So if you get it in the collection, you're saving yourself $10. That's basically free. So get the collection, and then here's the basic setup. This is what I recommend to everyone just starting out. The 4 colors, the 4 main colors you need for your face to give yourself dimension, structure, and coverage, because everything here is foundational coverage. Everything here is highly pigmented, 80% pigmentation versus 18% traditional. So when you decide you want to try this makeup, I ask you for a makeup-free selfie. Send me your makeup-free face facing a window a couple of steps back. Send it to me and I'll give you a laundry list of recommendations. I mean, when I say a laundry list, it's a doozy because I want to get in, I want to get out, I want to hit you once and leave you alone. I don't want to hassle you. I don't want to remind you of one more thing to get. I just do it once. But the first 4 colors are the basic setup. Main highlight, foundation, brightening highlight, concealer, contour, and blush. Today I'm using June as my main highlight, Versailles as my brightening, Indigo, so scary but so good, contour, and then this is Cindy, lip and cheek, and then of course Bella bronzer. So let's get started. I'm going to go into my main highlight first, and this again is June, and I'm going to tap the dense end. The denser your brush, the more product you'll pick up. This is a good medium to full coverage brush, and then this fluffy end is going to smooth everything together, blend everything together really nicely, and also pick up excess product, because when you first get this makeup, there is a likelihood you're going to apply too much makeup. I look like a wedding cake for the first week. It's going to be okay. Just play with it, work with it, and enjoy. So I have the makeup on. My bristles are not stuck together, and I'm going to tap this just on the lower part of my face, and this is just going to cover any of my acne scarring. That's why I applied this first. I have acne scarring on my cheeks and then around my chin from when I used to break out in horrible cystic acne. It was just huge craters, and you can't help but pick at it. You just can't help it, and as much as I don't want to, everybody does. So I just apply this to the lower part of my jaw, where I need my foundation because I'm not applying contour to the lower part of my face. And then I bring it up and I just lightly cover all of my acne scarring. I go into the redness around my nose and then again around my chin. This is the easiest makeup you'll use. You don't need to turn your whole face one color to then stack more colors on to give yourself structure. This is going to live with your skin. It's going to liven things up, and it's not going to dull your face because it's just good makeup. When you're working with creams, they work like a second skin. All right, so I've added my main highlight. Just gonna go over a little more scarring right there. You just wanna tap this out. If you find that you have texture, you've applied too much, take that fluffy end and tap over it, and it'll pick it up without taking it off and without compromising your makeup. Okay, the next color I'm gonna go into is actually my contour, and I'm gonna go into my shadowing. This is going to be my no-fly zones. I'm going to pinch the brush and I'm going to pick up some of that scary dark contour. Again, my bristles are not sticking together because I'm stamping it. If I wipe it, I'm going to pick up too much product and I'm going to clump my bristles together. And then I'm going to come over here. Now you can see we have natural shadowing on our forehead. I'm just going to add my contour to that shadow, and then I'm going to bridge it together along the top, circle it and bring it down my temple. Circle it and bring it down my temple. And that's it. And you can build this up as far as you want, bring this down as low as you want. It's workable. It's forgiving makeup. It's so easy because it's creams. It just blends like a dream. I'm going to use my finger. I'm going to go in on my 2 fingers here, and I'm going to come down the top sides of my nose. I'm going to push into my brow line here and then down my nose, just to create that structure shadowing. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're gonna blend this, and then I always square off the tip. I'm gonna pinch this end and I'm just gonna tap it out. Again, this doesn't need to be perfect. This is just a baseline because I'm going to be adding my brightening highlight to give myself dimension and structure. But this is just a way for me to structure my nose, accentuate those shadows, and make it look like a nice little schnoz on my face. That easy. You just tap it and it blends like a dream. Okay, I'm going to pinch it again, grab some more of that scary indigo color, and we are going to come right here to our cheekbone. We don't want to come in past the outer corner of our eye, but I kind of hang it back and I just push up towards the top of my ear. And I like to underblend this. I like to see my contour because once I start adding my bronzer and my blush, it's going to help blend that down and look natural and dimensional. So again, we just pinch it and then we tap it. It's a good hard tap, but it's not a wipe. And again, you're hanging this either right at the base of your cheekbone or under into that natural shadow. It's all how you want to structure it. You can come straight in and glut up like I do and push it. And you don't want to come in past that outer corner again and then underblend. And I kind of meet up in the temple so it meets where I brought it down on my forehead. Grabbing a little more, and I'm just going to come right here to hide that chin. Grab some more, and I'm going to go in and I'm just going to chisel out my jaw. I push it up in front of my earlobe and down. In front of the earlobe and down. Okay. Let's go into the bronzer. This is just going to add that warmth, that yumminess of summer onto your cheeks. I'm going to tap into it. This is very creamy, so it does pick up very easily, and this is going to add warmth. Think of the high points of your face where the sun kisses you. Here, grab a little more. And I'm just going to come right above that contour onto my cheekbone here. And I'm going to tap it very lightly, not perfectly. I'm going to flip to the fluffy end and I am going to give this a good swirling. And this is just going to blend it like a dream. You can hear my kids. That's not fighting. That's loving each other, believe it or not. And it just blends it again like a dream. You can add some to the fluffy end. Put some more on your cheeks if you want to. I like a good heavy bronze on my cheeks. It's the way I like my makeup. Do your face how you want. Okay, I'm going to go into my brightening highlight now. This is where I'm going to add that brightening, that reflecting light. This is where you're going to start seeing a lot of dimension come in. I'm going to use my finger. This shade is going to be 2 to 3 shades lighter than your actual skin tone. And so you want to do less is more because again, this is a highly pigmented makeup. And so it can easily add texture if you do too much, but it, again, blends like a dream. Just going down the middle of my nose here. So we went down the middle, we're gonna hit the Cupid's bow, and then I'm gonna go right here. Again, adding reflecting light and dimension. I'm gonna take that short end of my brush and I'm gonna blend it out. Pushing it up towards that contour, over the brows, tap it down my nose, just like that. And it just is good stuff. I'm going to use my finger just to make it good and straight. I'm going to tap this out into my main highlight, just going back and forth like this. And you see, it just creates this lightness without making it look like I'm a clown. I'm going to do my under eyes last. We're going to go into our blush next. This is Cindy, and I'm just going to tap into it. Again, tapping in. It is highly pigmented, and I'm going to tap way up here first, and then I like to bring it to the lower part of my apple and up. It's such a pretty light. It looks very bright here, but I just tap in lightly and I build till I'm happy. Use that fluffy end just to give it a good blend, but do you see how it all just blends that contour together really beautifully? It looks natural. It's not so scary. And this is also foundational coverage. So I just keep it hanging at the top. And I bring it down, flip it to that fluffy end, and tap it out. All right, I want to go into my brightening and do my under eyes. And I'm going to go below this trough here because I want to hide my puffiness. I can't make my puffiness go away, but I can camouflage it. So I start at the underneath of that trough and bring it up. And then I always go up here just to kind of clean up the eyeshadow. Just like that. I'm just going to wipe off any blush I have. And I'm just going to tap this out with that short, dense end. And I'm bringing it over and I'm bringing this down. And then they'll meet in the middle. And look at how pretty that is. Take that fluffy end and just tap it out. It's so easy. It's the easiest makeup you'll ever use. It's way easier than turning your face one color and then trying to restructure it, I'll tell you that, and then dealing with using liquids and creams and powders, and it can be a lot, I remember. And I've been using this for over 2 years and I haven't missed the steps at all. So that's it. I'm just taking this last little bit. I'm going to take the fluffy end of my brush and I'm going to go into my main highlight, and I'm just going to add a little bit to right here. Main highlight right here, and it just kind of chisels it out, brings it up, covers up anything else I needed covered. And that's my whole face. I'm going to take my Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. I'm going to spray it, and while it's still fairly damp, I'm going to take again that fluffy brush. I'm going to press it in to my creams, just like that. Now I'm going to go into that contour color, and I'm going to create a soul patch, and I'm just going to buff this out just like that. I'm going to go over my Cupid's bow, and this is going to create shadows on the mid of my lip to make it, it's going to give it dimension, it's going to give it structure. It's going to look like there's a curl to make them look fuller. I am going to take another brush, even though I'm just using this brush, but to line my lips, I like the multitasker brush, this end, and there's tiny end. I'm going to go into the big end, and I'm going to go in to Bella, just like that. So when you decide you want to start out, I recommend starting with the palette 8. And that's because if you do the very basics, the 4 colors, and then you get the collection, and then you're ready to add, you have room in your palette to do that. So when I'm lining my lips, I don't outer line my lips. I think you can totally see when somebody's drawing on the outside of their lips. And then I just hug that edge so tight. All right. I'm going to go into that Cindy color that I used. And this is a gloss. This is one of our semi-glosses. It's pink, it's pretty. And when you mix it with Bella, it's so good. So I'm just pushing it into that Bella lip liner. So pretty. School starts in a week and a half and I can get my nails done again. And you won't have to see these botchy fingers. And I just use another finger just to give it all a last smush around. There we go. That's a nice, pretty, and you can keep building this to make it pinker if you want. I just put it right in the middle and it just pouts it out. But that's it. Ooh, let's add, my neck is always light. Bronzer. Bronzer does it. Everything I put on my face, my blush, my lipstick, my neck, all in one place. That's it. Message me if you want to try this. This is so easy. It's so forgiving. It's natural. It's pretty. It's as light or as full as you want. I do a nice medium coverage, but if I wanted this lighter, I absolutely could. It's all in one place. If you want no makeup, this can look like that. If you want something that's medium coverage because you're going to lunch, this palette will do that. If you're going to be going out and you need full coverage, this same palette can do all 3 things. You don't need a different palette for different coverages. One palette does everything. It's so easy. All right, message me and let's get you the very basic setup, the collection and your first 4 colors. And you're going to love it. I promise. Have a great day.